Alright, well, it's been a while since I've done any of this other than me and Connor's covers, but it's about time I start ranting, so to speak. A lot of topics that have been coming to mind was the legalization of marijuana. Um, the main lead to that is Ron Paul. I mean, I go around in school and say, well, Ron Paul's trying to legalize the shit, but really he never says that in his campaign. He just wants to get rid of all the prohibitions. Um, there's nothing bad about marijuana at all. I mean, I smoke it. I did there for a while, but I mean, shit. I've done just about every strain of marijuana there has. I've smoked it. I've eaten it. I've inhaled it. I've decongested it. I fucking absorbed it. I've done just about all there is to do with it. I'm a pretty smart kid on the average. What time is it? Never mind. Sorry about the camera, by the way. It's got a lot of glare issues right now. In order for me to use my studio equipment, I have to use my shitty generic camera. So yeah. Let's see what Holly says. Alrighty. Alright. Anyways, but like I said, if there's anything bad in marijuana, they wouldn't they wouldn't have had it legal back in fucking 1940s, 50s, and 60s. The only reason it's illegal is because the fucking paper mill companies don't want to be losing all their distribution from hemp seeds and hemp rope from Canada. I think that's a long list of fucking bullshit. Alright, just because their production factories are going to lose 10% business doesn't mean America's revenue could be increased by 80% just on the taxes of marijuana. Marijuana could actually inflate our country to being one of the richest economies, or it could be one of the most drug prohibited economies out there. I mean, there's Germany, France, Italy, Canada, all those places that they have it legal. I have a friend whose mother's boyfriend lives up in Michigan. He gets medical marijuana and he just gives it to me. That shit, that just calms my nerves completely. I mean, I've probably smoked $60 a gram type weed, and you gotta think a gram. It's probably no bigger than that around, like your thumb of your finger in a circle. For $60, that's a lot. That's a lot of money to just spend on that little bit of weed. But regardless, I mean, it's just one of those things that should be legal. And for our country to tell us, no, you can't do this and you can't do that, that's just furthermore making us look like a communist country and look like a dictatorship, which that's not good at all. Going to dictatorship, to move on to the subjects, uh, there's been a lot of talk about SOPA and PIPA. SOPA, I mean, for our government to tell us you can't do this and you can't do that, like I say, it falls on the line of a communist country. I mean, we're not fucking Cuba. We're not fucking 1930s Germany. We're America. We have a democracy. The majority vote is what our motto is. We have a market economy, as we've been studying in social studies. What that means is we have the freedom to do whatever opportunity may be granted towards us. Whether we take it or not, that's completely up to us. I believe that, the more we try is the more they try. And if our government doesn't want to try, how are we supposed to try? The only reason our economy is the way it is right now is because we owe so much money and we're not paying it back. Instead, Obama is granting all this money towards all these charities, and it's not right. I mean, instead of giving $2-3 million to AIDS organizations, which we already have the cure, I'm sure. What's interesting, actually, let's pause on that subject of communism, is that, about 5 years ago, LeBron James was diagnosed with HIV/AIDS. He disappeared off the face of the earth for 3 fucking years. No one knew anything about him, no news updates, no living environment, no budget, no bank records, no money records at all. A big thread that's been going around that, I've been studying and researching is that he actually froze his body until they found a cure. Which, I mean, if you look around, there's no cure for it right now. But he was cured of it. From what he's been telling the press and he's been telling the news, is he ate healthy. But how can he eat healthy if he never existed for 3 whole years? Another thing I've been looking at is stock markets, bull markets, stuff like that. A good friend of mine, Matt Tark, has been talking to me, and I've been talking to him as well about it. and another friend, Jonathan Cook, we went in business together. And, we opened up a little bull market, tried it out. And since October, I believe the 23rd, yeah, I think it was the 23rd, we signed a contract. No, I don't have it on me, it's up on my table. But the contract stated, that we're going to keep all fair is fair. And I mean, we did. I mean, we turned 30 something dollars into almost 300, which to me, that's a big profit. I mean, being 15, 16 years old, trying to get $300 without a job, that's really hard to do. And I mean, it's just one of those tasks that you can't do. Not easily done, at least. One second, need to squint my eyes to see my goddamn screen because I don't have my contacts. Because I'm a broke ass white boy. Always packing for some reason. If this video gets cut off, I mean, I'll just figure out where it ended because I'm not sure about how YouTube is anymore. I mean, what it looks like. No, I think it's still the 10-minute cut line. Anyways, back to communism before my 10 minutes ends up. For SOPA, what SOPA was is I think it stood for Stop Piracy Online Act or some shit like that. I mean, I pirate shit. I mean, I'm gonna admit it straight up. I mean, I do it at school. I mean, I've downloaded movies and games for people. I haven't sold them because I believe in the moral efforts. A good deed never goes unpunished. But I don't think it's terribly wrong for you to not spend $20 on small accessories like fucking music or video games. I mean, that's total and utter bullshit for our government to say, hey, no. They shut down this website called kat.ph. It was stood for Kick-Ass Torrents. That was actually my main base website that I used for pirating. And what happened was they tore that website down. They shut it down completely. And what we have is called a nation marshal. The United States is the only one to have nation marshals, which was due to the fact back during World War II is for us to go in and help kick ass against Germany. The other states or the other nations granted us national marshals, which means we could do anything outside the borders of our economy to help issue standard laws. And what was wrong about this is those nation marshals shut down this website. This website contained in, I believe, New Zealand or Brazil or wherever the fuck it was. I don't recall. But what doesn't make sense is why they would take such effort to take down a site that cost the government, I don't know, I want to say about $100,000 at least, throughout all the documents sent, all the bribes, all the donations, everything, just to shut down one website. I mean, they could easily have done that to Facebook. They could have easily done that to many other websites, but they didn't. But what started SOPA and PIPA was the overuse of internet social networks, such as Facebook. Our nation today is all about me. Me. Everyone focuses about themselves, but not one another. They don't want to help out each other. They want to help out themselves. And that's just wrong of us. I mean, we were based on a country of freedom, justice, and religion. There's a lot of people out there today who's only focused on money, profit, and organization, which turns us into a Muslim country. It doesn't really, in a roundabout way, you might not make sense of it, but if you pay attention to religion borders, Muslims are all about money, profit, organization. Hence, the Israelites, or whatever you want to call them, they're focused on mainly organization, which is why they have the world's leading army right now. The rumor has it that United States has the leading army right now. No, we don't. We just have the most nuclear weapon tactics. And there's no use for our nuclear weapons because it just started off World War III and we ended up blowing each other up. Now back to the main point of what I was saying is that we're turning into a communist country provided from a democracy. What we don't need is for a lot of people saying, oh, hey, we're this and we're that. We're Americans. We stand for justice, freedom, and religion. What I think our country needs to do is fall into a third line of poverty. We need to go back under British control and learn what a real country is and maybe help ourselves out a little bit. But until then, we're in total and utter chaos with a dictatorship through Obama. Let's just hope that Ron Paul, Mitt Romney, or Rick Santorum gets elected, and maybe things will change. But until then, we're fucked.